Hi, welcome to Gypsy Wind Adventures. Well, I finally finished my chuck box, and I must say I'm very well pleased with it. I thought I'd share with you how I designed it and what all I fit inside. When I was researching how I wanted to design and build my box, watching YouTube videos of how other people designed theirs and what all they fit inside gave me some great ideas. They all have one thing in common, though. They're designed to house all your kitchen items and be portable. Actually, my design changed a couple of times until I finally nailed down what I wanted. Hope you enjoy. Tour of the outside is we have on the top shelf two baskets. Basket on the right will house, well, as you can see, the towels. This blue thing is my dish drying mat, and this is a light I put on the hatch of my CRV. Large coasters to put hot pots on. This basket will hold my fruit and vegetables. I put I think it's a 3/4 inch dowel on each side to keep the baskets like in travel from sliding off if I take a turn. I added paper towel holder with just some string and hangers. It's two boxes put together. I don't know if you can see the two latches, one there and there. The bottom box is 21 inches wide. They're both 21 inches wide. They're both 18 inches deep. The bottom box is 14 inches. No, I'm sorry. I can't remember. One is 14 and one is 10. I can't remember which one I made. Anyways, one's a little bit taller than the other. And I made them two boxes so that I could control the weight. My previous cabinet was so heavy, I couldn't hardly lift it without having a hernia pop up. So this will allow me to unlatch these latches, and I put latches on both sides. I don't know if you can see them on this side. I put latches on both sides so I could separate the boxes and pack the boxes individually. Now, I have a pull-out. This will be my workstation. It's actually 30 inches long, so it's longer than the cabinet is deep. And I also have a pole to put under it to stabilize it so that I can, put weight-bearing stuff on it. I created that way so that I have a little shelf in the back. Excuse the mess. I'm moving in 8 weeks, and I'm in the process of culling stuff I haven't used, and I've got stuff sitting all over. So if you see any mess, that's what's going on. I'm in the process of packing stuff and getting rid of stuff to move. But my bed in my CRV will be here, and I'll have this little shelf at night to put the DVD player and DVDs for when I'm watching TV while I'm in bed. This will not be over my bed. My bed will end, it'll be lower. It's just a place to put stuff, but not a night table because my head's at the other end. I have my TV bracket here. I have a 22-inch TV, very lightweight. Now, as far as construction, I used my last cabinet, and it was a cabinet. It wasn't a chuck box. It wasn't portable. These are. I think that's the difference between a cabinet and a chuck box. But I used 1/4 inch plywood for the shelves and the top and the back. I used 1/2 inch on the sides for stability, and they're rock solid. Both boxes are rock solid. So let's get into what it all fits. I'm getting ready to go on a trip in 2 weeks, and although this isn't sitting in my vehicle, I wanted to see how everything was going to load before I went, because I designed this a certain way to carry certain things, and I must say it's worked out great. But I'll share that with you here in a minute. Okay, we're going to start with the top. On the left here, on my my door, what I did here, and when I was building this, I tried using as much scrap lumber that I had lying around. But I did have to buy some lumber. But anyways, these shelves were used with scrap lumber. That's why you have a notch here and one missing. But this is my my snake oil. Actually, it's my spices. I use these little glass bottles. I love those little glass bottles, but it reminds me of snake oil. So those are the spices that stay in here all the time. I use them all the time. I carry some tea when I want tea instead of coffee, and I've got some coffee and teaspoons there. This side, since I'm cutting down on what I carry, I've got one knife, one fork, one spoon. And so that's it. I do have some plastic ones, you know, that I've gotten from restaurants that I hang on to. I threw those in here in case someone needs it or if I want to use it. But I did cut down on a lot of stuff I carry. Okay, starting here, and when I made this, since I was using scrap lumber, and I had some of the scrap lumber just would not paint well. It just, I don't know what it was made from. It just would not paint well. So what I did was I stained everything with dark walnut first, and then I painted it black, and then put polyurethane over everything. So that's what's going on. But in here, I have my, this is my coffee. I drink one of these a day in the mornings. I think that's about 18 ounces. And I have some paper plates and my little 4-cup percolator. Now this is I think it's a Revereware. Let's see if I can see it. I can't remember. No, Farberware. This is from the early 50s. So, and they made a larger one. They made an 8-cup. This is a 4-cup, 4 5-ounce cups. So this will perk 20 ounces of coffee, and that's about all I drink in the mornings now. So anyways, I thought it was so cool, the handle. You know, you don't see many of those anymore. I did find a magazine ad for this, and the larger one from the early 50s. So this is about 75 years old. I've got the percolator in there, and a small jar of decaf coffee. This is a 20-ounce, it's not a cup, I forget what you call it, but container, maybe 20 ounce, that I pour my cold water from the refrigerator in. So when I drink water, I use this, always use this. This is my water drinker, I think. And then in the back, I have my coffee. This is glass covered in stainless steel. Yeah. So that all fits in there. In the middle, I have a little box that I've just had sitting around. It houses my salt and pepper, and this is some Worcestershire sauce. I don't always carry that because it has to be refrigerated. I will carry it if I have something I'm going to cook that requires it. So this next camping trip in 2 weeks, I need Worcestershire, and that's a new bottle, hasn't been opened. And this is my avocado oil that I use. I don't use a whole lot of oil, but when I do, I use avocado oil. And my Mrs. Dash. I like that on vegetables. And I use quite a bit of it, so that's why it is not up in a little bottle. In the back of that, I've got cleaning wipes to wipe off my pull-out shelf and just to sanitize some stuff. Then in the back of that, I have a Coleman propane bottle. Here on the left-hand side, I have my little light that will stick up right there. So at night or in the evenings when it's dark, I do have some, I do have another light source. You can't tell, but it lightens up quite a bit, yeah. Needs to be recharged, it's rechargeable. Anyways, and on the far left here we have the dry goods container. I got this for snacks and some stuff that needs to be protected from mice. Now granted, there is no seal, so it's not smell proof, but I do plan on putting a thin seal there. I thought it had a seal when I ordered it, but and I built this space here specifically to house this little green container. But in here I have stuff that I throw in my bike bag for snacks for on a bike ride. And then some cup of soup. I think I have some cookies down there and some crackers, a few extra bags. Just snacks mainly, you know. So that's my snack drawer, I guess you'd call it. In the very back, I've got butane fuel. Now, I don't normally carry 2 different kinds of fuel. I always use my butane stove because I love my little butane stove. But I am going to be traveling to Wichita in a couple of months, and not knowing how cool the evenings are going to be, I'm carrying 2 different kinds of stove, a butane stove and a propane stove. So that's why I have both fuels just already loaded, so I don't have to reload it. But I'm hoping it's not going to be that cool and I can use my butane stove. But in the long run, once I get settled to where I'm moving, it will, I'll just have one fuel in here. The bottom is where everything else rides. Now, I wanted a drop down rather than 2 more doors. This is not really designed to hold a lot of weight because it is so low. It sits on the sill of the CRV, and I would have to bend over to use it as a work surface, so it just keeps stuff from sliding out. I could make it weight bearing, but it's only 10 inches tall. Oh yeah, so that means that This one was the 10-inch box on the bottom. Huh. And this one was the 14 or the 12. I can't remember. Anyways, so here we have a metal container that I've had for years and years, and just throw my cooking utensils. As you can see, I have a spoon, slotted spoon, and a spatula, just one of each. Some tongs, and this is the handle to my skillet. I love these for camping, and I'll show that to you when I pull it out. My little egg beater, I've had him for years. I found him, I can't remember where I got that thing, but I've had it for years. And a couple of knives. This I use to clean out my tall coffee cup, and to clean out my percolator. I have can opener and lighter. So all that rides there. Now this is 11 inches, and you know, the depth of my chuck box is 18 inches. So what have I got? 7 inches in the back still to put stuff. I think I did get I put some storage containers back there for like leftovers that you might have when you cook to throw in the refrigerator. So yeah, that's that. Now here I have some aluminum foil. I don't use a lot of foil, but I do have a recipe that I'm gonna need it for this next trip. I have this right here is a windscreen for my stove. And I have my Eureka butane stove. I use this for my smaller pots, like my percolator. The bottom's too small to fit on there, so this allows me to utilize that for my percolator. In the back, I don't know if you can see it, is my Hot Logic, and I have more room back there. I just haven't loaded anything back there. Nothing I really need to load, actually. Now, coming to, and I have a long knife here in case I need to cut a melon that I might stop and pick up at the grocery store on my way to camp. It's too long to fit in that, so it just rides there. Right here, this is what I use to set what I call the guts of the percolator in when it's through perking. I pull it out before I pour my coffee so that I don't dump grounds and everything. I have this plate. I got this at Walmart. I thought it was pretty, but I like using that for lunches because I eat light lunches, and it's just nicer than a bloody paper plate. Cleans up the pot holder. And this is the skillet I use. And I'll show you, see the handle go on, and so I can remove the handle and it takes up less room. Pretty cool. And this of course is the lid. And I have my Corningware, I think is it Corel plate. I love these plates. I've had these for years, and I carry one. That's for when I eat meals, like dinners that would be too messy for a paper plate, like spaghetti and stuff like that. I'm just not fond of paper plates. They're okay for sandwiches and stuff like that, but you know, those paper plates I have will probably last me a year. Behind this, I have if I can reach it. Ooh. Okay. A couple of pots. This is a good size pot, not overly large. I steam vegetables in this. And it has the lid. I've had these for 10 years maybe. And then it nests a smaller pot inside. I'm having to do this one-handed, sorry for the noise. This is a nice size to warm up green beans and stuff like that. It came with a very larger pot, which, you know, too large for me to use, and then it also came with a skillet. And I'm not fond of the skillet. It sticks, so I don't use the skillet. Give those a good washing. Then what we have here is bouillon, some hash, some green beans, and if you'll notice, these are the small cans, not the large cans. That way I'm not stuck with leftovers to deal with. Another can of hash. Canned button mushrooms. Now, I can count on one hand, a half of a hand, how many times I have used canned mushrooms. I don't like the the texture of them. They're nasty. What possessed me to buy this? I have no clue. So I've been packing this around a while. I may get brave and throw it in some soup or something one day, but anyways, there it is. Maybe somebody will need it, and I'll give it away when we're camping. This is a full-size can of some black olives. I love black olives. Measuring cup, not used often. Now this, I use this in my Hunt Logic. I cook, usually pre-cook most of my dinners, not my breakfast or lunch, but my dinners, and use a vacuum sealer. So when I'm ready, and freeze them. And my refrigerator has a freezer section. So I put my dinners in the freezer, and when it's time to for my meal the night before, I'll take it out of the freezer part and put it in the refrigerator so it unthaws. And then several hours before dinner, I'll open the packages, put it in this, and use my Hot Logic. And that's been working really good for me. So that's what this is used for. That's the only thing that's used for. And this, I use this for my salad bowl. It matches my little plate. I don't like eating a salad from a plate. I like it in a bowl. It's easier to get everything out. And this is my steamer basket for the vegetables. I don't open it with one hand. I'm sure you know what they are. That's what that is. And I still have room that I can use back there. But yes, when I designed this, and it took me a while watching the videos on YouTube and deciding what I was going to carry, what I was getting rid of, because my last cabinet was it was 31 inches deep by 20 inches wide by 24 inches tall, so it was quite a bit larger. But I could carry small appliances on it as well. So, like my little toaster oven when I camp, when I have electricity, I'll take a toaster oven so I can make toast, you know, avocado toast, cooked biscuits, stuff like that. So, but I'm very well pleased with the way this come out. I'm not a woodworker, and I will not ever work with 1/4-inch plywood again unless I absolutely have to, because I like to have never, well, actually, even the ones I bought were still bowed. 1/4-inch plywood is it bows so easily. So it'll have a curve to it, which makes it hard to square stuff up. And that was a challenge. That was really a challenge, using that 1/4 inch in this, but live and learn. But had I used the 1/2 inch, the boxes would have been too heavy, loaded up. So 6 up, 6 down, I guess. But it turned out fine. I mean, it's rock solid. It's not wiggly or anything, and I'm very pleased. Let's see, let me try this light. I don't know if you can see how much light. Maybe you can see. It gives off quite a bit of light. I'll be able to. Now this little shelf here that I told you was not a work surface, with it sitting on the lip of the rear of the CRV, it's pretty much level when I open it. And it will hold a little plate, and you can make a sandwich on it, stuff like that. The hinges are too thin for you to put a cutting board on there and use it as a cutting working surface. But for light stuff like a paper plate, making a sandwich, it'll be fine like that. But most of the time I'll be using this pull-out shelf. And I thought that was odd. I didn't paint this because this reminded me of an animal of some kind, the way the wood did, because I did stain it first with that dark walnut, and how pine is, the grain in it's just strange. That's what this is. And I thought it turned out very odd looking. Actually, I thought it was pretty, but I didn't want the whole box like that. Anyway. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that, or at least got something out of it. I have discovered that I enjoy working with wood. And like I said, I'm not a wood worker, but I did enjoy making it. It took a while because I'm in Florida and it's so hot here. And so I would go out at 7 in the mornings, work to about 9:30 or 10 until the sweat started dripping from my nose. And once that started, I quit for the day. And that was it. That was the only time I could work on it because it was so hot and humid here. But I'd say it probably took me maybe 6 weeks to make. And that's from me not being a woodworker, I guess, and being limited on the time. But I'm pleased with the way it turned out. So now what I'm going to do is I've got some stuff still to take to the thrift store. So I have to leave my back end of my CRV open. But once I'm through with all that, I'm going to load that up and get my camping stuff loaded so I can get back to boxing stuff up, which I still have a lot to do. Although I have 7 or 8 weeks left, so I'm still good on time right now. But like I said earlier in the video, when I researched what I wanted, and even if you think you're going to attempt this, watch a lot of videos. There's all kinds of videos out there of chuck boxes, and I think they're also called Wanigans, patrol boxes. The Boy Scouts call them patrol boxes, I think. So there's a lot of that out there, and there's some of them are really nice. And if I were taking mine out of the vehicle and setting it up on a picnic table to use, I would have made the doors differently. Some of them, the doors are actual, like 3-4 inches deep. Some really nice boxes out there. But this serves my purpose. I cook and everything off the back of my CRV, so this gonna work great. I haven't used it yet. I just finished it maybe a week ago, and just now getting to load everything in it to make sure everything fit. And if you do decide to make this, when you design it, each section, know what you want to put in each section and measure the items. And luckily, everything fit perfectly. So, and that was from watching people, on YouTube. YouTube's full of valuable information on these things. But yeah, bye.